It's race day. It's round 2 of the AMSA 2020 Hare Scramble series. I'm on the line at the 40B class, and it's a dead engine start. Hands on head, gate drops, hands go to the bars, race is on.
Hands on head! Hands on head!
Oh, a bit of a false start by me. Oh, there we go, we're off. Alright, even with the false start, I still managed to grab a hole shot. And we start out on the moto track. The dirt on the moto track is polished blue groove, super hard clay with clumps of dirt everywhere. First few jumps are kind of mellow, but here's where we get into the clumpy dirt. Obviously a blue groove off to the left, but I'm not riding the 4-stroke lines. I'm hugging the insides, and I am not going to jump the big jumps. I'm 55 years old. I'm not jumping those jumps. This is the 40B class. They're not paying me to do this. Oh, missed my inside line. I'll take this next one. Not a bad corner. Pretty happy with my technique through here. Rolling the throttle on. Applying the brakes early. Messed this corner up. Not so good. I was hoping to hug the inside line a little bit more there. They've watered the track in spots, and those spots are like ice. So you got blue groove with clumps and then ice. Nice. Still kind of fun. Come into a whoop section here. Just kind of bash your way through it. They're not very deep. You can kind of double up like I did. And then more blue groove up a hill with some rollers in it. Fun corner here, but one line because of all the water they dumped on it. And then more ice here. And a giant booter jump. There's some booters on this track. Huge hucks if you're 23-year-old named Eli Tomac. I'm not jumping any of them. That's a double. I doubt this triple would be doable, but what the heck. Lose focus and drift to the outside, but no big deal. Kind of a fun little step up. Made that one. Neat little off-camber downhill here. It's not very downhill, but it is a little off-camber. And we're heading off the moto track. Never been here, and this is our first lap. There's no sighting lap on this series, so it's all new to me, the moto track and the grass track and the single track that's coming up. Oh, I'm a little bit lost. Nope, I got the markers. I'm back on course. So through the grass, and there's a couple guys who were sweeping. Not sure. Anyway, onto the single track and through the trees. Single track and the trees here is some awesome dirt. It's nice and moist. It's like chocolate cake. Hero dirt. Fun trail. It varies from being super tight to kind of flowy like this. In the spots where it's flowy, carrying more speed, and they get chewed up. Deep acceleration bumps. By the end of the moto, they get deep. It's a 90-minute race. For me, it turned out to be, because I got to the finish line before the 90-minute mark, so I did another lap. It turned out to be almost hour and 45 minutes, maybe even a little more, hour 47. There's some of those acceleration bumps, more of them. Whoop, 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 whoop. You can hear the rear tire bouncing through them. And an hour and 45 minutes of that starts to beat you up. The grass track got chewed up too in the back section. Oh, little log double, unexpected, kind of fun. Again, this is the first lap. I've never ridden here. You don't get a sighting lap. Certain parts of this race course you can see knobby prints in the dirt. It's just tacky, it's not muddy, perfect dirt. For this video I did something a little bit different. First half of the lap is me riding, trying to figure out where the course goes, doing the best I can. And then about halfway through the lap I splice in the second half of the lap from a later part in the race. There's a guy who goes by me from a different class, and I tag along behind him, and I think it gives a little bit more interesting perspective of the course when you can see another bike on it instead of just staring at my fender the whole time. So that's coming up pretty soon, but for now it's just me still riding on the opening lap. There's a couple guys from the class ahead of me, maybe a minute or so up the course from where I am. More of that acceleration chop. And this is still the first lap, so it gets choppier. You can see it in this corner too. I'm feeling pretty good at this point, not pushing too hard, just trying to ride smooth, consistent lines, not extend myself too far, not make any mistakes, just having a good day on the bike. Oh, there's a giant rut in this corner. It took me 2 or 3 laps to kind of figure out that there was a much better line to the inside of that rut. But, you know, that lap I dropped down into it and kind of made a mess of it. Eventually I got it figured out. We dive back into the trees here and then some slippery roots that are off camber. Then bash our way between these 2 trees that are handlebar width apart. More deep breathing, try not to get too pumped up, and then it's just up here that I decide it's time to splice in the second half of the lap from later in the race. And whoa, this guy comes out of nowhere. He's moving along at a pretty good pace. I was starting to get wrapped up in my own race. Again, we're on probably lap 4 at this point. And so he comes along, blows by me, and I decide I'm going to try and stick with him and see if I can't learn a few things and hopefully improve my lap time. Like I said, late in the race, starting to get complacent, a little bit lazy. You know, you feel like you're pushing, but a guy goes by you like that, you know you're not pushing. The lead stretches, or the gap, I guess you would say. The gap stretches and closes back up throughout the rest of the lap. And I like the view of him ahead of me just because it helps give us a better perspective of what the race course is all about. There's a log hop off to the right. There is an option to go around it. It makes more sense to go around it. A little bit steeper hill than it looks, some roots in the way, a little bit off angle. Just, you know, in a race environment, just too much risk and very little reward, so I just opted to go around it every lap. And we're back onto a dirt road. Looks like there might be a sweeper up ahead of the guy I'm trying to battle with. And I get a little bit of a break because that holds him up just for a second going into this turn. And I close the gap back down. So take any gift I can get. Pop in and out of these little chunks of trees. It's kind of nice to get a little break and pick up the speed, and then right back into the trees again. Oh, a bit of a problem up here. We got a couple sweepers helping out somebody who went off the course. We both managed to squeeze by without too much trouble, and I don't think we caused them too much trouble. See the back end of his bike bouncing around on the braking bumps going into this corner. Just up here, the course changes its character a little bit. We go from sweet dirt in and out of the trees into kind of more wide open grass track. This section here is a little sketchy. That's about a 20-foot cliff off to the right. You can see it better as we turn back. Not really sure why there's a tent at the bottom of the cliff. Not sure why they ran the course along the top of the cliff. But whatever, it's all good. Out here on the grass track, pretty fun. Some big lumps of dirt that we're riding over. Giant booter jump there if you want to jump it. And then there's another little sketchy deal up here. This thing is totally jumpable, but you know, in the middle of a hare scramble, no flaggers, not gonna do it. Kind of a cool off-camber uphill turn here. Trying to leave the throttle open, but it's just too rough and kicking all over the place, and I'm getting tired. This is again third or fourth lap that we're watching. The speed really picks up on this part of the course. Just kind of open, flowy grass track, single track, some fun turns, and I like turns, so it was really kind of cool back here. I just railed that one. The guy's starting to creep away from me a little bit. I'm trying to pick up the pace, catch him, and I get a little bit of unexpected help. He gets caught up in the back of a guy having a little difficulty in this rutted turn, and I managed to catch back up. Nice, cool, cloudy day, which made it a little more comfortable while we raced. Pretty happy it wasn't super hot and sunny. I think that helped keep a little moisture in the dirt as well. More deep breaths, still trying to keep myself from pumping up even though we're hour plus into this thing. And we're heading back here after another turn or two. A couple little rough uphills. This next uphill gets super rough. But we're heading back here to the moto track. And we did almost a full lap. You can see the track kind of in the background there. We did, I'd say, 95% of a full lap. We left the track, did all this single track, grass track, and then came back onto the moto track right here. I'll over jump this tabletop, and then under jump this one. As we close out the lap, we go into a high-speed uphill sweeper that leads to a giant tabletop. No way I'm jumping this one. Then they threw some water down in the braking zone of this corner, and it just became icy. And that is pretty much a lap. So thanks for watching. This was a great race. Had a great time. Like I said, whole shot to checkers. See you next time.